Hi, I'm Mark Anstey. I'm the founder and yes man of Lot 19. Lot 19 is a community art space I set up in Castlemaine to support artists and to create a home for many resident artists, and also to put on arts events and music and parties and festivals and all sorts of things. One of the events we do at Lot 19 is the Spring Sculpture Show. We've been doing that for at least 15 years. And we have incorporated other sculpture shows like the Tonks Sculpture Show into this. And it's a highly successful small sculpture show which celebrates a diverse entry of artists from all over Australia. And because we offer a smaller prize and a whole lot of smaller prizes from the community, we attract a lot of wonderful small works which are very meaningful.
It's funny though, because I can't remember how many there have been. I think we're calling this one the 14th. The second weekend of October every year we open up, and it's so exciting. I just sit there the week before the show. I'm just in awe of all these wonderful people bringing all this brilliant stuff. The Lot 19 story is a long one.
Yeah.
It's all about opening people's hearts and supporting the artists who are here in order that they can help us explore life a bit more thoroughly and sort out our priorities. It's a bit of a zealous kind of an enterprise, but the sculpture show obviously fits in with that, with supporting artists to be artists, really. There's no big number, so people aren't aiming for the $20,000 prize and they're not bringing in their big, shiny, amazing thing. People are bringing in these items that have come straight from their heart and from their hands, and they're the most beautiful representations of what they do, because that's how the prizes are won. They're won by being moving rather than by being the big...
Spectacular.
Yeah, that's right. To me, there's art worlds. There are art worlds. One is where people, it's all very showy and glitzy and expensive and crazy. But the world which I'm interested in is one where artists are people who explore the world in their own particular way and have their own particular thoughts, and then they use their art as a language to explain that world to the rest of us. So it's just another way of understanding the world. So for me, I've spent my life supporting artists because I think the artist's voice is such an important one. But with sculpture, it's massive. You can make sculpture out of anything. Really anything. Any of the elements that are laid out in front of us, you can make sculpture. And that adds another detail, a very important detail to the artist's voice. And, there's characteristics of each material, like there's feathers and clay and stainless steel and glass. And
hessian.
And there's sharp and there's blunt and there's shiny and there's a piece of wood in the exhibition which just draws energy out of your eyes and sucks you into it. It's dark and, it's deep. One of the great joys is watching these things come in and watching how people have joined two things together. That's my whole job. In another way. I'm not a carpenter, but I am a furniture maker.
Yeah.
So that's my whole job in a way, to successfully join things together. It gets complicated too. Like, it's very difficult often to do that simply. So it looks simple and feels simple and actually works and endures. There's one example. It's a beautiful little, about a foot by a foot. It's a winding metal stainless steel object that has maybe 30 arms on it which respond to the winding cams, and there are these little birds, a flock of birds which move, and you can spin it fast or you can spin it slow, and they just move beautifully, and they've got little found budgie feathers attached to each of the birds. It's exquisite. The materials themselves speak, and it's hard to talk about it in 5 minutes, but that kind of observation of the material, let alone what the artist has done with it, helps you look around the world a bit more carefully and it might help you
Yeah.
observe things that you might not normally observe, and you might notice things about yourself that you might not normally notice, or you might think your values might shift slightly in response to the new way which you're looking at the world, because you've had an artist who's moved you through their offerings. 91 artists. I love it.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. But I mean,